In this case, nothing happened. No, I mean, she turned 40. Her dad died, and she woke up one day and didn't love me.
Welcome back to another episode of Daddy Issues. Our guest today is going to introduce himself and tell us a little bit about his story.
Mike Good from Manchester, New Hampshire. A business owner, divorced for the past 3 years, and I have two baby mamas. And
Mm.
I have 50% custody with both my kids. My son is 10, and my daughter is 6.
So first of all, New Hampshire, because that's where I'm at. So that's great. Great to hear.
That's where you are.
Um, yeah, I'm in Dover, New Hampshire.
Okay, so
Yep.
did the did those laws apply to you? I mean,
Yeah, but only because my situation, she was trying to get me out of the girl, my kids, the picture, and you had a little better time. It here's like sounds like.
so if my baby mamas wanted to, they could have pushed for full custody. I thought in New Hampshire it was just like if the dad says I want 50% custody, they just grant it.
No, no, no. They don't grant it. You have to essentially prove that you are a capable parent. Um, yeah, and just the alienation and the lies with my situation dragged it out forever. So yeah, it sucked, and it was during COVID too. So like those 2 years also dragged it out, which sucked.
Right. It took forever just to get into the courts, right?
Yeah, yep. Just to get in, we did a couple Zooms. It was insane. Yeah. So, but yeah, let us know how your situation went.
Yeah, for me it was relatively easy. I had 50% custody of my son when I wasn't married to my the first mother. So we split up when he was 1 years old, and then I met my wife when he was like one and a half, and she got pregnant, and then I got married. I was like, I'm gonna get married because I don't
Yep.
two baby mamas out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
married to one of them. I gotta at least try. So I got married, and we had our daughter, and it, it was great. Like I have nothing bad to say about my marriage. It was
That's great.
amazing. Like to the point where my friends were like first of all, they couldn't picture me married because I just wasn't the type. But then, I mean, I grew up, I had kids. You know what it's like. Like
Oh yeah.
I just wanted that family unit. I wanted that structure, and I ended up loving it. Like I loved being married. I would have stayed married forever. But
Yeah.
in this case, nothing happened. No, I mean, she turned 40. Her dad died, and she woke up one day and didn't love me.
Really?
Yeah, nothing happened. Just all of a sudden, like she started to get angry and would yell at me about. I'm like, what's going on? Like, why are you screaming at me about stuff that happened 7 years ago?
Right.
Because there was nothing. There's nothing to fight about. Do you know what I
And
mean?
you guys were together for about 7 years?
About 7 years, six,
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
Yep.
And then, yeah, I really think it was like some type of premenopausal hormone thing set off by her dad passing away. I don't know. I kind of tried to look into it, but
Yeah.
you look up that stuff online. There's a rabbit hole. You know, there's I guess a lot of women go through this premenopausal hormone shit because it wasn't her. It was like my wife left her body and someone else took over.
Yeah. And there was no regret afterwards? Like she didn't kind of get over it and was like, I made a mistake or what?
I had her in therapy, and you know, I really tried.
Yeah.
But and I said, listen, I'm staying as long as you don't scream at me in front of the kids. And the therapist even said, like, he's asking for one thing. That's it. And she's like, I don't fucking love him anymore. I don't fucking care. And
Oh.
she'd storm out of therapy. And my therapist looked at me like, good luck, dude. And I mean, immediately, like the next day, she'd scream at me in front of the kids.
Yeah.
And like to the point where they were like, like you could tell it was affecting them. You
Hmm.
know, like, like a lot. And I was like, okay, I'm gone. You know what I mean? And so, because she couldn't do that one thing. Did she regret it? Yeah. Like she tried to come back. I told her, I said, listen, if you come back, it's not going to be good because I'm angry and hurt.
Right.
You're going to see a side of me you don't want to see. She saw that side. Uh, I was never going to take her back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And she told me, she's like, I can't explain what happened. She's like in a black hole of depression. She didn't understand what was going on. She gained like 40 pounds. She was on 3 different meds that her doctors put her on. Like she seemed like just not the person I married. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Completely different. So yeah, I mean, for like a half a year we tried, but I was like, listen, it's we both knew it just wasn't there anymore. I would have loved to. I would have stayed.
Right.
I would have stayed married forever. Like just for the family unit. You know what I mean?
Yep.
My marriage wasn't bad. Like, I mean, no marriage is amazing, right? I think
Right.
too
Right.
many women look for that excitement. Like they're like, excitement is happy. I need to be happy. Like too many women are like me, 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 me. It's all about me. Where the
Mm-hmm.
men are like, it's about the family and having peace, right?
100%.
Right?
Yeah. Did you go through court with both of your exes, or was it just you guys talked it out and figured it out yourself?
Yeah, the first one was just a parenting plan. Me and her never had a good. It was never good.
Yep.
Like off and on, off and on. So I knew it was never going to be good for my son. So, but she's a good mom. You know what I mean? She's just one of those people that like she can't have a relationship. She just what I mean. She's just not a relationship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's good on her own. She's a great mom. You know what I mean? We co-parent fine. We just did a parenting plan with the court. We both looked at it, signed it, and simple.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
yeah. So when I got divorced, I hoped it would be that simple. But my ex wife wanted to like fuck with me a little bit, so she tried. She tried to get more custody,
Yep.
tried to get money. But I own my own business, so you can hide money.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like,
Everything is towards the business. So
yeah,
it's,
like,
yeah, I make I
I can't
make
take
$20 a
a
month.
couple dumbbells in my gym. Like that's about it. Like even
Yeah.
my lawyer's like, oh, this is good. He's
Mm-hmm.
like, he even told me, he's like, he's like, you walk a fine line, but he goes, it's pretty good. He goes, if you got audited, it'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm not bringing in millions of dollars,
Right. Right.
a couple $100,000. You can find ways to write most of it off.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it looks like on paper I'm making $23,000 a year.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yep.
So
Yep.
if you want to try to get money, and the girls I have kids with, they both make well over 100,000.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, yeah, take me to court because you'll be paying me.
Right. Exactly.
My lawyer's like, yeah, we can go to court. Your client's going to be paying my client. And they're like, oh,
And you know what's funny is a lot of the men that I talk to don't ever push that. Like even if child support goes into their favor, they're like, I don't even want it. I
no,
just want my kids and I want to be good.
100.
But on the other end, the women push for it all the time.
All the time. I don't get it. I would just do it to mess with him a little bit, but
Absolutely.
yeah, I wouldn't actually go through with it. I'd be like, keep your money. I don't care.
Right. Just to
Pay for the kid.
prove the point.
Have him. I'll pay for him. And that's, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It sucks though that she tried to get more custody and all that stuff when essentially the divorce was also I don't want to say her fault, but her fault. You know what I mean? Like
100% her decision. Yeah.
right. Yeah, so that sucks, but
It sucked. And she knows I'm a good dad. But for some,
right.
I don't know what happened. She wanted to hurt me.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I'm like, what the I still want to have a conversation and be like, what did I do? Like, why
Right.
so
What
angry?
happened?
Like, you wanted a divorce. You were unhappy with me. I gave you the divorce. Shouldn't that make you happy? Like, you
Right.
very angry.
Giving you everything you want here.
Yeah, like, what the fuck? Just nothing
Yeah.
makes her happy. I'm like, you got to figure out what makes you happy. Like, I can't do. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know. I'll never figure it out with that one. But
Right. Yeah. Are you how long have you been divorced now with
so
her?
I think it's been 3 years.
3 years. Okay. And are you seeing anyone else? Have you started a relationship? Kicking
Yeah,
with the people?
yeah. I kind of went back to what I did in my 20s and early 30s. Just like I mean, going through divorce is fucking terrible. Like it's
Yeah.
terrible. If you've never been through it, you don't understand. But if you've been through it, it's like it's kind of like a death. It's like similar to losing someone.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I coped with it with alcohol and drugs and women.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, this worked before. And then I was like, that didn't work. I did that
Yeah.
for a couple months and it made me miserable.
Oh yeah.
Well, this isn't me anymore. So then, I guess you got to figure out like how to cope with it without drugs, alcohol, and women.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So I just put 100% of my time into my kids and my business, and that helped. And then,
Absolutely. Yeah.
and then I don't know, dating's hard now.
Mhm.
Girls are way different than the last time I had to date. Like
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit! Like,
Everything's like online on dating apps and all that stuff now. It's crazy.
and these girls just have so many options. And
Yeah.
most of the girls I meet, they have a guy for each box. This
Mhm.
guy takes me out places on trips. This guy I use for sex. This guy I use for whatever. You know what I mean? And I'm like,
Yep.
oh shit. And like some of them will admit it, and the other, but they all seem to do it. Like I
Yeah.
was dating girls. I'm fucking 45 years old. I was dating girls between 28 and 33.
Yeah.
No kids, because I don't want to. I don't know. If I don't have to, I don't want to date a girl with kids.
You know what's funny is we were just talking about that not too long ago. It's like for men, I think it's a little bit different. I would be the same way, but
Mhm.
for women, I don't think it matters as much because they're so nurturing and loving. I
Right.
think that they would be okay with dating somebody with kids, but the opposite way, I think, obviously it happens, but
Right.
I think it's more of an issue.
Yeah. If I have a choice, do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Choose a girl with, because I want to focus on my kids.
Mhm.
I don't want to focus on. I don't know. So,
Yeah,
but
no, I'm right with you on that one.
so yeah, I was dating younger girls with no kids, but a lot of them were pretty immature.
Yeah.
Fun, fun,
Fun.
but yeah. But yeah. So I dated one of my clients. I own a personal training gym, and then I don't usually date my clients, but
Yeah.
um, I dated her for like 2 years. But
Oh, wow.
it was one of those ones, very young, very pretty, and she would tell me, you have to do that, like you can't like girls pictures online. And I'm like,
Oh god.
can you stop posting super hot bikini pictures? They're like,
Exactly.
sure, you should like that I do that. And I'm like, whoa, do you see the difference here? You ask me to
Mhm.
do something, I say okay, because
Yep.
I value our relationship. I ask you to do something and I'm insecure.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy fuck.
I've had that happen, and it's so frustrating because you're like, what? I'm doing the things that you just asked me because it makes you uncomfortable, so I'm no longer doing it.
Yeah.
Why can't you do the
What,
same for me?
same thing. And they can't even see it. Like,
Right.
what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, logical at all. It's just not.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what I've realized now is when you run into those situations, you just get, okay, I'm done.
Mhm.
Never gonna get any better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not gonna change. And I think most of them don't change.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
And
I met someone that seems normal-ish, if there is normal. Yeah. Like
right
actually,
now you did? You
like
seen someone?
divorced for like a year, seems to really value relationships, has no kids
Yeah.
because she couldn't, like went through the whole process like in vitro and stuff like that. She's a little
Yeah.
bit older, she's 39, and she seems like logical for a girl.
Right. I love that.
Yeah, like it's like I can have like conversations with her. I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, do you realize that you're abnormal? And she's like, and she's hot too. So I'm hoping,
Yeah.
I'm hoping. And she even like, I even asked her to go to my son's football game, and she's like, "Oh my god, I'd love that." And I'm
That's
like,
awesome.
"Yeah." Like I'm like, "Holy shit."
Yeah.
So I'm hoping. Kind of weird after 3 years. Like you get used to being single.
Mhm.
Finally, are okay with it, and you're like, "This is fine." Like it's almost you almost like it, right? Do
Yeah.
what you want whenever you want. You're over the divorce part after 3 years. I would say most people.
Yep.
You've kind of dealt with it, went through it. Um, and now thinking about trying to have a relation. I don't know. Like, I mean, I think I want to do it, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it's tough though because I mean yeah, you have your you time and you can do kind of whatever you want, but at the same time it also gets kind of lonely. It's like damn, I wish I could share some of this shit with somebody, So it's
especially
yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
Like like the first year I had my son's mom was right there when I got a divorce, and she was like, "Let's play family." I'm like, "Okay." I mean, okay, but like it helped. You know
yeah,
what I mean? I felt like I just replaced my wife with her.
mm-hmm.
I still got to do family stuff, and also I got to be single. Like it was the first year was actually pretty easy because of that. But
Yeah,
I realized this isn't going to be a normal relationship, and I didn't want my kids to see that.
mm-hmm.
So that's when I got rid of that. But and that did help, like to have. And the thing I miss is what we used to do as like a family.
Right,
You know what I mean? And I can't believe like she doesn't miss that. Like
yeah. What do the kids think about that? Like, did they have a hard time, or was it pretty easy with them?
I would say my son got to see what it was like to be a family, and he loved it. Like
Yeah,
because he didn't know, like he saw mom, he's got his mom and dad together. Like he was very happy.
and that's what most kids wish for, If they split up, they're always asking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really made him happy, which was tough. That was harder
Mm-hmm.
than my divorce probably for him. So, but he's I don't know, he's 10 and he's dealing with it. Yeah,
Yeah.
all right. I guess like people say kids are resilient, and
Oh yeah.
I think it affects them, of course. But he seems to be okay. My daughter,
Yeah. That's good.
I don't know. She said something like, we're watching some Disney movie, and she's like, "Real love doesn't exist, right, Dad?" And I'm like, whoa, you're 6. Like,
Whoa, you're 6.
really talking about this right now? And she's like, "Well, you and Mom aren't together, so it doesn't exist." I'm like, I don't know what to say. Like,
Yeah. The tough thing too is like most kids now are being brought up in a single family home. Like their parents are divorced. So it's going to be weird in, 10, 20 more years to see like what the effects are with that because, back in the day, divorces were kind of like you didn't see I mean, they were around, but they're not like now it's like 50% or more.
or more, yeah,
So, yeah, it's tough.
yeah. It's gonna be like you said. It's gonna be weird to see how it plays out, like how
Mhm.
as adults.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Who knows? Probably real fucked up.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's great. Do you have any advice that you would give dads out there going through something?
You got to go through it. Like, there's no way around it. Do you know what I mean? Just feel all the feelings, like, because there's no shortcuts. Just just go through it and realize it's gonna be hard as hell. Like, it's fucking hard, and but you can get through it, and hopefully there's something better on the other side. Which I'm guessing most of the stories you've heard, there's something better on the other side.
Mhm.
Have
That's
you?
exactly it. You just
What
got
would
to go through it.
you say? Most of the guys like end up, after a few years, like, oh, I'm glad that actually happened.
Absolutely. I mean, maybe not I'm glad it happened, but they're definitely, they're super depressed, but then after a while when they work on themselves, when they work on their business, they grow and get better and eventually find another person. So and then they're like, "Dude, I'm super happy because I was miserable in my marriage or I was miserable in my relationship." And now they're, loving life. They found a person that they vibe with and it's great. So,
You find
yeah.
most men would try to stick it out. Like,
Oh yeah. 100%.
is it
Yep.
mostly women that are asking for divorces?
Unless the man is just so fed up, but it's not. Most women, I think, are doing the divorces for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, I think the stat is like 70% of women
yeah.
file for divorce, but all the men I talk to for sure are willing to stick it out, even if they're going through something. It's like let's do therapy, let's try to figure it out, and the women are like, I'm out of here. So.
What do you find is the biggest reasons?
I think a lot of women just get bored. Like a lot of these guys, these men
They,
are working. Yeah, a lot of these men are working and they're not home all the time. But it's like you're providing this lifestyle for this woman where she doesn't need to work or she can kind of just be at home and take care of the kids, whatever. And by that's a hard job for sure.
yeah,
But I think they just get bored. They go on Facebook. They start linking with other men, talking to them, and then it just a new spark comes
it's the,
from there.
the excitement. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The
If there's
excitement.
one thing
Yeah.
I did is I became, I was a little crazy in the beginning when she met me, and I think she liked that. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
she was a stripper.
Yeah.
She was like 2 years retired stripper, but and now she's a nurse practitioner, so she really changed her life. But
Yeah.
like we both did that together. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yep.
I should have known, like but like I think she really liked the ups and downs. Do you know what I mean? Because
Mm-hmm.
that's what she was comfortable with. And for some reason, I even quit drinking for like
Yeah.
2 years, zero drinking. I was all about being a better husband, being a better father. Like it's all I cared about is the family and like having a good family unit. And if I can think of anything, that's what it was. She didn't. She was bored.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, I remember her saying, I was like, "Aren't you glad I quit drinking?" Like, she's like, "Yeah, now you're boring." I'm like,
Right. Which
"What?"
you would think that would be a positive. It's like, you know what I mean?
Like, I love the fact that it was like this. You know what I mean? I was like, this is good. I can do this. Like, this is sustainable. Like, it's
Mm-hmm.
peaceful. It's nice. And, like, to a lot of women, if they're used to, like, especially if their childhood was, that's what they think is love, I guess.
Yeah.
Having the ups and downs and I don't know. It's hard. I think it's hard to find women that aren't like that. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, they're so emotional. They're not, men are very logical.
Uh,
And just like you were like, I'm thinking about my family, thinking about the unit
and
and, the future. Yeah.
yeah, that was it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, yeah, I mean that was great. I'm glad that you guys are two baby mamas, two kids, but you guys are all getting along, which is great.
How about you? Are you getting along with yours? How do you get
We
along?
we don't we get along, but we don't really talk. Like if we're in the same room, which we rarely are, we'll, say hey, but it's still, we
Just
don't
like
really talk.
you have 2 kids.
Two kids, yeah, two girls, yeah. So, and what sucks is, they see it, they see the tension, and they see all that, but it's, 6 years going through it, and I can honestly say, the entire time I'm sitting there trying to get along, trying to, figure this out, where I'm thinking of our kids, like we need to do this for the girls. Like we might not like each other, but who cares?
Who cares? Yeah,
And yeah, she
they don't
took
see it that
took us through a fucking road.
way. Just as she moved on.
She had well, she's moved on with like she got upset when I got into another relationship, and then it really, she really went left.
Oh, so you moved
Um,
on first?
well, we were broken up for 2 years, but we were great friends. We were
Oh,
still like I told her everything. We were great friends. We'd have dinner together, like we were good.
oh,
And then as soon as I got into another
oh!
relationship,
That's what did it.
it was exactly. It was like I was the worst person in the world. I'm like, are you kidding me? So
Yeah, that's kind of what I did with my son's mom. I kind of like was friends with her because she never had a guy. So I was
yeah,
like, I respect the fact that you don't even try to have a boyfriend or there's no men around my kids. So I
yep.
was her friend. But Jesus, as soon as a guy went to my son's football game, I was like, I hate you.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
kind of get it. I mean, I kind of get it, but I wouldn't go that far. Like,
yeah. I mean, and I didn't bring anyone around my kids until my now wife.
oh,
So I really made
you
sure
got
like I
married again,
didn't.
huh?
Yeah, yeah. Well, me and my first were never married.
Oh,
We were together for 8 years or maybe longer, and then just broke up. But we had two kids, and then yeah. So that whole story is just nuts. But
you found a
one
good
day
one, huh?
one day I'll do it. Yeah, and then I found yeah. So I'm super happy. We're doing great, and she actually held me down for when I was going through the divorce or the breakup process and the custody. So
Dude, that's so rare.
yeah,
I'm
it
sure
was.
you
I
know
needed
that.
her for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Me down. You can hold me down. You can't hold me down. You can't hold me down.